Hey there. I'm not sure if this is warranted, but I hope this gets to Tom Rayson. But here I have your website up. I'm an SEO agency, and I did some researching. I'm actually going around prospecting, but I want to give you free advice. I want to give you free advice for your website. This video shouldn't be more than 10 minutes. But I'm going to tell you what your website's doing right and what it's doing wrong. Let's compare what you're doing now with someone else. But first, this is what you're bringing in for traffic. I guess for a landscaping company, you don't do the full annual servicing of plowing, which is what other lawn care services they include that too. So I'm guessing your blog or your website didn't really have content on its site, right? So you did have spikes of 100, and it's been consistent, meaning you probably put up a new form, or maybe you advertised it in another place, which you see spike up based on the amount of interest that had. That's not consistent. The amount of work that someone that would take the time to, it should be the same amount of effort, that should be permanent. That should be 100 every single month. For you to spike up, going up to 100 and back down to 0, that's something that would be a huge concern for any one of the business owner, any sort of person that I would mentor and inform of. That's something that's not consistent. That's not something that builds wealth. But you probably get most of your business through word of mouth. So I guess that is excellent on your part. But going through Google, these are your organic competitors: Twin Cities, yardandlight.com, carrycotter.com, Twin Lawn. These guys are not your next door neighbor competitors. These are competitors that are competing over Google's ranking system. So right off the bat, it's telling me how you're getting that 100 clicks. You're mostly getting those clicks through TPC, meaning if someone wanted lawn care, they would have to type in TPC to find you. If that's not a cause for concern, let me underline that for you. If people wanted to find you, they would have to know your name. If I told you if you wanted to meet with me, but I never told you my name, my phone number, or anything about me besides me telling you, yeah, I'm an agency, would you be able to find me, particularly in the sea of SEO agencies? I'm going to have to say no. Landscaping Twin Cities is something that you're on the second page of, and that brings one person a month. You're on the first page of Twin Cities Landscaping. That brings in 1 click a month. Then that's primarily because of the amount of people actively looking into Twin Cities Landscaping, and they're typing that on their phone or on Google. But the key thing to take away is that these aren't working. Your website right now, let me actually take a look into it. This is your site right now. This is how I'm seeing it. I actually saw it on mobile, which I'll show you how it looks like on my phone. This is how the site looks like on my phone. Are you able to read it? If this was in the palm of your hand and you were looking for landscaping, would you be able to understand and go through these guys? Your competitors, they have a website that looks like this. This is someone that I helped earlier. I didn't design the site, which I didn't improve upon it. Look at how these guys are. If this was in the palm of your hand and you were looking for landscaping, would you be more inclined to go through these guys? You can see, hey, they're into designing, building, irrigating. That's interesting. Their bits are responsive, meaning this bit opens up. It fills the width, so you can read it on your phone. This is something that you should be concerned about as well. Who did your site design also coded in Flash, which right away as an ex-developer. I used to work in Eden Prairie as a website developer. This tells me that you probably had this site built maybe 5-10 years ago. That's something that lets me know that this might be something that having a little chat with me particularly, you sit down and talk with me, might be something worth noting. I tell people that there's 3 major variables to look at when valuing a business, or any sort of business decision should impact these 3 variables, and that's the traffic, conversions, and economics of what you're providing, the value of what you're providing for the length of the contract for that customer. So what I've learned is in landscaping and in lawn care that that value is around $5,000, meaning every customer that ends up buying something from you, on average, that's $5,000, right? Someone could just do it once for $500. Someone could be a $50,000 lifetime commercial client here. So having that value established, you just have to improve upon your traffic, which is how often people get in front of you. How often do people get to see you and get to talk to you? Your conversion is what percentage of those people end up becoming a customer, which end up becoming that $5,000. So just looking at a basic number of what your website should generate, which lets me know the value that you're producing with that site, that's at 130, right? And now that the busy season's coming up and everyone else is reaching out to me now, they're saying, hey Jake, can you take a look at my website? Hey, can you give me some few pointers? Because it's starting up again. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I can take the time out today to help you out. I actually found your website when explaining to someone else about their website, so this is how I found you. So looking into this, 131, let's just call that 100, 150 even. To take 10% of that, that's the conversion. That's saying for 1 out of every 10 people that call you because they need lawn service, they go through and they sign up something with you. 10% is normal. Like, I would say that's normal for someone that wants the service. 130, that's 13 people coming in and talking to you and converting. That's 13 customers a month, which lets me know, based off of your website alone, you should be clearing what's that? That's 50 grand a month minus expenses, right? More than that, we're probably revenues of 60 grand a month. Which lets me know the size of your team, which might be more than 5. Just little nitpicky things. That's something that lets me know that you can handle growing that. I'm showing you how for the return on investment, you're looking at roughly 4 to 5. Based on the amount of potential that you guys are currently operating in, because you guys were out in last summer. So you must have been able to persevere and still be able to benefit from this year's busy season. So I want to tell you a few free actionable advice that you can do for your site that I've liked, that I've tend to ignore when looking at a site. You do have services pages. Some people don't even add up something like this. You have sub-pages here, which are built into the site, which is good. Google, for a site like this, Google does see everything, but in the way that your site's designed, it sees it all as one big page, and that tells Google that you have 4 major main pages. Splitting them up in individual pages, that should maybe bring you a permanent 50 people per month going into your website. Splitting that up, making sure it's at least 1,000 words long, that's something that will instantly establish you into having at least 50 people a month. But that's 5% of SEO. Building out articles, writing out spammy looking articles is not what I do, even though having keyword oriented pages is 5%. What doesn't get talked about is how link building works. If let's say Joe over here, Joe does website reviewing and company reviewing of landscaping companies, and he finds your website and he likes your website, but people also likes Joe's website. People go to Joe's website because it's an authority site. People know that Joe's the man when reviewing sites and businesses like yours. So he puts a link down on your website. People might click through that website, but that's not what's important. What's important is that it gives you credibility. That link building tells Google, hey, Joe gave you a vote. Joe voted for you by linking on his own your website on his, meaning the power off of his site gets copied almost in a smaller way to you, which helps you. It permanently lifts you up. Doesn't matter if any of the work on your end. It doesn't even need to be on your site. I've had people only go through link building, and link building is actually 25 to 30% of what SEO is nowadays. And business owners think it's still writing out, little articles and improving upon it. Another extra thing here is if I look at this image which was on your site, Google or any other search engine, they can't know what an image is by scanning it, right? They can read it and understand what it is by the name and by the alt text. You guys do this well. Main pick _ waterfall, alt text landscaping design. That's excellent. That lets me know that the people behind the site in that regard have you covered. However, you should be getting a report on this every single month. Whoever's handling the site should lay out something just like this for you that lists out everything that's working, all the extra pages that are being built, all the extra keywords that it's focusing on, that's building it towards that, and all the extra articles that are going up, right? That alone is 30% of SEO, and any person that's working under you for this site should be able to do that. I want to show you what can be done, right? Let's take any one of your keywords. I'm not searching TPC, but if I look up landscaping Twin Cities, right? That's that's what you're targeting. You're going for Twin City landscaping and landscaping Twin Cities. Obviously, you want to be around the Twin Cities. I don't know if you guys are based right off of downtown, but Minneapolis is a huge metro. Targeting the suburbs around is something that I can share with you. Another bit of free advice that will times 20 your business. This bit of advice lets you tap into all the other cities on a local level and tell Google that you're relevant in every single city, and that's relevant within each customer. So if I can expand on that, take Twin City, replace Twin Cities with a different city that's smaller. Minneapolis has 350,000 people. Burnsville has 60. Bloomington has 40,000, right? Places in the South Metro, you can take those cities and replace Twin Cities with those other cities and then group them together by county. So now you can have an article that says, hey, if you want Twin Cities, landscaping, whatever that you have on your site, you can take this. Just have your secretary do this. Replace all the instances where it says Minneapolis or St. Paul or Twin Cities or whatever. Replace that with your operating city, whatever cities that you're out of, or places within the region. You can probably produce maybe 30 pages, and Google loves that. Google won't penalize you. At a local level, Google loves that you are able to target specific cities with a certain keyword. If you can do hand-laid pavers plus Burnsville, they will love that. You can replace Burnsville within an article, rinse, repeat. At the top of hand-laid pavers, that's something that might make, maybe 100 people might go to the first rank on that, which isn't big, right? If you're on the first page of hand-laid pavers in Burnsville, that's maybe that's 100 people might be clicking through to your site. But if you can be the best in the world, which you make that world smaller by saying you're the best hand-paid, in this example, the best within this smaller category for the city across many cities, and then you can see how it can kind of add up. So anyway, I see that I'm pushing past 10 minutes, so I'll wrap this up. So it'll be under 15. So I would like to schedule another free meeting with you. This one probably might have been out of the blue, but I'd love to bend your ear. Right down below, I sent you a link to a schedule. I'm open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we can have a 60-minute conversation at your leisure. I just ask that if you want me to retain most of my information for this meeting, that might be within a week or two, because I can't keep your company and all the details I got by researching earlier and right now forever in my mind. So reach out back to me if you think this is worth it, because I love to map out the full plan, right, of what we can do to take your business past 500 a month in traffic, 1,000 per month in traffic as the busy season warms up. So right down below, that's all you need to do after this. Otherwise, I'll look forward to hearing from you, and I hope we have an excellent spring. So thanks a lot.